All right, Green Thumb Gardening family. It has been approximately 12 days since we brought you guys our swiftly root sugarcane cuttings using this method video. We told you guys during that video that we would bring you guys back during the first signs of propagation. However, we didn't do that because we had so much going on here. Our intentions were to bring you guys back at around day 7, maybe day 8, and then again it's around day 12 here. So we thought it only fair for us to get out here in this greenhouse and show you guys what it is exactly that we have going on with both of our methods of propagating this purple sugarcane here in water. Take a look at this. Let's swing this camera around. I'm going to give you guys a reminder of exactly what we have going on here. We have these shorter joints that we cut from in between the individual sections of edible sugarcane. And we told you guys during that first video that we sealed the end of those cuttings with water to prevent those cuttings from rotting during the propagation process. I'm going to show you guys what we have going on with those first, and then we'll pull the cuttings that we have in this water over here that we are attempting to propagate in the upright position out of this container and show you what we have going on with those. As I bring this camera in close for you guys and gals out there, you guys are going to be able to see that. Bam! We already have roots growing on here on our purple sugarcane cuttings here. I'm going to pull this one out and show you guys what we have going on up close to the camera as far as roots going on. You can see that eye right beside those roots beginning to pop open near its split in the middle, and that's because it's in the process of pushing out the beginnings of what's going to form our stalk of cane from this particular cutting here. Let's spin this cutting around. You can see all of those little roots beginning to pop out along this cutting. Again, it's been about 12 days since we begun this propagation experiment. This particular cutting here actually split open during the propagation process, and as you guys can see what happens when a cutting gets permeated with water there. See how it begins to kind of rot there. Now this cutting probably would not sprout roots. It may sprout roots and it may actually sprout that eye there, but I'm kind of not hopeful about this particular cutting. We'll continue this cutting in with the rest of our cuttings for another few days. If it continues to rot, we'll just remove this cutting from our container here. This is our next cutting. As I pull this from this water, you're going to be able to see that we have roots forming all the way around this cutting. If my camera will actually focus, you guys see those roots? That's a better shot of what we have going on in the way of roots. I can also see that as I go in close, if I can get my camera to focus, that eye is in the process of beginning to split open there in the middle to allow our plant to begin to grow. And pull out this next cutting. As you guys can see, we need to change the water. We've changed the water twice during this propagation process, and after tonight's video, we'll change this water again. We'll keep our water as fresh and debris free as possible here. Let's see if I can get my camera to focus on those roots there. I'm going to be honest with you guys about something. We just brought our cuttings inside of our high tonal greenhouse here about 2 days ago. So the entire time we had these cuttings propagating, they were out front on our propagation table on our front porch. If you guys recall from one of my recent videos, we received temperatures here down as low as 29 degrees. So these cuttings have been outside on the front porch sitting in the water even when we had temperatures down to about 29 degrees here at the Green Thumb Gardening channel recently here. You have to look at this cutting here and you can see that it has some significant root formation. And again, we're propagating these cuttings laying down on their sides in this container of water. And those roots are really, really, really looking fantastic for us here in our high tonal greenhouse. Now that we have our cuttings here inside of our high tunnel greenhouse, we expect for the propagation process to go about 2 to 3 times as fast as it was out there in the colder temperatures on our front porch out there. As I hold this particular cutting close to the camera and try to get that thing to focus, you guys can see that significant, probably root formation there. My camera will actually focus on it. You guys see those roots? We have roots forming virtually all the way around this cutting. And that eye is looking fantastic. Let's see if I can get my camera to focus on that thing, get my long fingers out of the way. If you look in the center of that eye, you can see that skin's beginning to split right there. This is a happy cutting, still healthy and green. And once we get some roots on these cuttings to the tune of about an inch long, our intentions are to get out here and pot our individual cuttings into individual containers. We won't be growing these as a group type thing. We want individual plants, so we'll put each one of these cuttings in this individual container. You guys recall from that first video, these cuttings will form clusters of sugarcane, and they'll be sprawled out in cricket and all of that stuff or whatever, but we're not complaining about that too much. We'll just again use that sugarcane as seed cane to grow more high quality sugarcane from in the future. Alright, next up, we're going to try to keep this video as short as possible here and not bore you guys to death. Everybody has seen roots before, but just an update on what we have growing on with our purple sugarcane. Now at this point during the propagation process, our roots are just like, you know, when you're propagating fig tree cuttings. They're short, they're brittle, and it's very easy for our roots to separate from our sugarcane at this point. So we're going to be as gentle as possible when we pull these cuttings from this water to show you guys that in the upright position, bam, look at the tremendous amount of roots that have formed on this particular cutting. Can you guys see that? That is downright outstanding. We're super excited about that. I'm going to gently lay that cutting to the side and remove another from this water here if possible. Again, trying to be as gentle as possible because we don't want to damage the roots on our cuttings at all if possible. And what has happened here is that we have so many roots on these cuttings. The cuttings themselves have actually pushed the container out. Down at the bottom of the container itself is the most narrow, and it's kind of locking our canes down in this container. So I'm going to have to sacrifice a few roots in order to get our sugarcane out. But look at that. Can you guys see that eye already sprouting on this particular cutting? See that? It's already turning upwards towards the sky. And we have a tremendous root system already formed here on this particular cutting. We're super excited to see that indeed this propagation experiment is going so well for us. All of our eyes on each one of the stalks that we've removed from the water so far. It's actually turning up, if you guys can see that. That bud is opening up, but the sprout itself, that eye is opening up, but the sprout itself is turning upward towards the sky due to the fact that we had our cuttings here in an upright position. You guys see that? All of those cuttings have eyes that are swollen. They have nice roots developing on them at this time, despite being out front on our front porch in that cold weather, during the coldest weather actually that we've seen here in our area this growth season so far. And this is our shortest cuttings of all of the cuttings that we were actually attempting to propagate. green thumb garden family, and just look at, bam, what's going on with this little short stubby cutting here. See all of those roots? It's hard to see that eye. That eye is still purple there, but it is beginning to swell significantly, and we expect to see that thing sprouting any day now. But look at those roots. I'm super excited about what we have going on right now at this point with our purple sugarcane. We're showing you guys each individual cutting because when it comes to propagation, we always tend to lose. Maybe sometimes it's rare not to lose at least one cutting, no matter what we propagate here at the Green Thumb Gardening channel. But I'm super excited at the progress that our sugarcane cuttings have made here in just the past, bam, 12 days here in water. And I can almost guarantee you guys that had we had our cuttings inside of our high tunnel greenhouse, where we tend to keep the temperatures between 68 and 72 degrees at all times, even on the coldest of nights here, these cuttings would have begun to propagate a lot faster. They would have far more significantly developed root systems on them at this time. We have a few more cuttings here to show you guys, and again, all of those eyes, as you can see, have sprouted and are beginning to turn upward. And that's exactly what we want. We all have, again, root systems that are well on their way to developing to the point where we can actually get these individual cuttings potted up. Thus far, we haven't lost not one single cutting, but it's still, again, early in the propagation experiment. This is the cutting that we took from the very top of our sugarcane stalk. Told you guys at that point that it had a tiny eye on it that was just beginning to develop. The eye has swollen, as you guys can see. And we do have a significant root system forming on this guy as well. Our last and final cutting here, from just below that top cutting that we just showed you guys, that eye too is beginning to swell. You can see that line forming in the middle, getting ready to split open. And we do have roots, although they are tiny at this point, beginning to form. At any rate, Green Thumb Gardening channel, day 12 of our easily root sugarcane cuttings using this method propagation experiment, and our sugarcane cuttings are indeed looking well here in our high tunnel greenhouse. Thanks for watching.